Now, before we begin, he might be thinking, why did we set up a base which could easily be destroyed by one well-placed trebuchet barrage on a mountain, causing an avalanche that would bury us? Special thanks goes to Cassandra for setting up shop here, Cullen for never mentioning this life-threatening fault in our defenses, even though he probably set up the trebuchets here himself, villagers who live here and apparently never lived through such a catastrophe before we showed up, and Corey for, well, not even thinking about this. I guess Corey just wanted to sacrifice all his minions or didn't want us harmed because he now has the mentality of something between Dr. Evil and Dr. Claw. I guess that's kind of the point, since he could have killed us instantly, stolen our arm, and be done with it. But no, he needed his horrendous, evil, gloating monologue, and to show us he has a dragon. And although it hasn't been shown how it operates, I'm pretty sure this isn't proper procedure for loosing a trebuchet. So we have fallen, 10, 20 stories? In some conveniently placed unknown abandoned mineshaft, perhaps? How are we still alive, let alone walking? How did the enemy not discover this location if they managed to climb the mountain and then attack us from behind and appear right next to the chantry? Surely they could have found a cave at the base, and why weren't we immediately buried by the avalanche? It's a hole in the ground. So anyway, we make our grunting noise as we stand up as if nothing happened. Our mark is now glowing green, probably due to whatever Corey did, and we go into a light jog and fade to black. Why? Did we really need to do that? What does that even mean? Is the level so long and boring and we just skipped it? And the next scene has us slowly moving in some weird hobbling animation, and now we're back to normal jogging speed. Did he just get his circulation going after falling 20 stories? So we begin a battle and fight some demons. Why are there demons here? We don't know. There's not even a rift, and we get a tutorial message telling us to use this new rift AoE power. Cool, okay, so the demons exist to show off our newfound ability. We then make our way out of the abandoned mine shaft, and we're moving slowly up to our ankles in snow through a blizzard. And this is just pointless. The only thing we're following is the map, which magically has a marker. I mean, what is our goal here? Is it to show us our struggle against the snowy world of the Frostbite engine? Yes, walking through snow is difficult. Oh, humanity versus nature, the conflict. The lack of music, oh my wet shoes. Now there's nothing wrong with having a lull in the story, especially after a part with fast pacing. This is classically referred to as the low point. This is when the protagonist gets their bearings after dealing with the main conflict, being at the lowest point in the story, and then see what sense of courage they wish to use or direction they wish to go. But within a dramatic structure where the character's issues, their plot or past, catches up with them, the ghost of what's following them, and they have to then deal with it, that great change they have to make within themselves, and then that climactic choice is made. But here there's no internal struggle. We're still in the dark of who and what we are, and, well, we know the mark is now called the Anchor, and what Corey wants, and we just lost a battle with him, and somehow we survived. We don't even know how we're walking. Did the Anchor's power save us? So, what is the point of showing us? That we have to walk through snow? If our struggle should be some sort of internal one, are we just going through the motions of getting to some unknown location? 3 times. There's no value to be had here, really, and why are we even bothering to go through these scenes? I don't feel any drama or I sense any struggle. It's cold. We get it. Yeah, stop wasting our time. So when we finally look at the map and we've progressed maybe 10, 20, 50 yards tops, then a fade to black and we do it again and then again. Why have we had 4 fade to blacks? And the third time in the snow, we get a really good animation of walking through now knee-deep snow. Now, if we wanted to show the protagonist being exhausted, pushed to their limits, and then finding some inner reason to go on, like some altruism, like he wants to help his army or friends or whatever, this would have been a great time for that. They could collapse and then go into a dreamscape and fight their inner sense of doubt, have a monologue, develop a sense of anger maybe, rage, fear, loneliness, pain, whatever, something, feel something. But instead, there's nothing, a whole lot of white, snowy nothing. You might argue and say this is a Zen moment on a mountain, and I would say you're wrong. Luckily, we find the embers of a campfire.
Embers. Recent.
Which makes no goddamn sense, because the snow is up to our knees, it's really windy, and there's no flammable material around. Who started this fire? Enough for there to be embers on top of knee-high snow, surrounded by rocks. And embers of what? There are no snow prints or feet or bodies that stood or sat around this campfire in the knee-deep snow. Why did they abandon their tripod cooking apparatus? Did they eat anything? Where did they go that they left no trail? Surely the blizzard didn't cover it up that quickly if there are embers. How is this scene even possible? Oh wait, this is Dragon Age. A flying dragon mage did it. So our mark is still glowing green. We march on and then we see some struggling animation. And this is actually a pretty cool thing because...
There! It's him!
Oh boy. It's you. Just the guy I wanted to see. So instead of having a clearly defined philosophical moment or inner struggle of encouragement or something, we just get rescued and fade to black again. That's 5 fade to blacks within, 200 yards. While Tweedledee, Dumb, Dumber, and Princess Stabby Stab Kill bicker over who's in charge, we end up talking to Mother Giselle in bed, who hopefully will illuminate some aspects of our character's predicament, because we certainly can't do that ourselves. Why can't we just make this lady the new pope or leader or whatever?
Do we know where Corypheus and his forces are?
We are not sure where we are, which may be why, despite the numbers he still commands, there is no sign of him.
Considering you couldn't find me and I was about 150 frickin' yards away, apparently following in your footsteps as you took impossible snack breaks, I kinda believe you.
That, or you are believed dead. Or without Haven, we are thought helpless. Or he girds for another attack. I cannot claim to know the mind of that creature, only his effect on us.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Capitaine Évidente.
We saw our defender stand and fall. And now we have seen him return.
So you actually saw me fall down a mineshaft?
The more the enemy is beyond us, the more miraculous your actions appear.
So because you can't see Corey anymore, I'm more amazing?
And the more our trials seem ordained. That is hard to accept, no?
Bad writing? BioWare? No.
What we have been called to endure. What we perhaps must come to believe.
This is a kind of clever lampshade where the audience is being asked to believe what just happened via having characters in the story comment on their sense of belief.
You saw Corypheus? What do you think of his claims of assaulting the heavens?
Scripture says magisters, to winter servants of false-souled gods, entered the Fade to reach the Golden City, seat of the Maker. For their crime, they were cast out as darkspawn. Their hubris is why we suffer blight, and why the Maker turned from us. If such is the claim of this Corypheus, he is a monster beyond imagining. All mankind continues to suffer for that sin. If even a shred of it is true, all the more reason Andraste would choose someone to rise against him.
Okay, so Corey is like Judeo-Christian Adam who brought about original sin.
I escaped the avalanche. Barely, perhaps, but I didn't die.
Of course, and the dead cannot return from across the veil. But the people know what they saw. Or perhaps what they needed to see. The Maker works both in the moment and in how it is remembered. Can we truly know the heavens are not with us?
That was by far the most profound and meaningful line of the story so far, and it's a completely optional dialogue question, but it's actually more of a statement by Greenhand here. It indirectly defines the opinion of the Inquisition army toward the main character, which differs from what they actually saw of you, which is to say the power of perception. We already know you are more than just a dude, but your previous actions have more depth to them. It also relates to how religion, that is the unseen maker, influences us, and our inability to understand that relationship if there even is one. Hence, the main component of religion is belief. This is interesting, because the plight of the antagonist is one of searching for the gods, and being so distraught after not finding them, trying to become one themselves. He must save this world from itself. The people, or at least the religious people, take their heroes where they can, good or bad. This line of dialogue is good because it resonates within the story and the audience.
All of this happened because of fanatics and arguments about the next world. It's time we start believing in this one.
This is also a good line by the protagonist, especially after the previous, which looks like it ends the conversation. He's aware of what Corey is, a fanatical religious dude with lots of power. You can choose to make your herald think this way, that is, to say how bad religion is, and get on with solving the problem of now stopping Corey, since we've discovered he's responsible for the breach, and restoring order. So you stand up, your inner circle seems exhausted from arguing, and then it seems Mother Giselle isn't done expressing herself, and she starts singing. Considering the discussion on religion and the state of affairs everyone is in, and her being part of a religion called the Chantry, this is fitting. Now, I'm not a fan of musicals and contemporary media unless it's an actual stage production, but musical interludes have been part of Dragon Age Origins, even optionally, and that was from Leliana. There's even an entire suite of bard songs from the Tavern of Dragon Age Inquisition, which are beautiful in their own right. So naturally, Leliana being here and also being religious starts singing as well. This prompts everyone else, including people to come around to you, saluting and some even kneeling. This implies all these people are part of the Chantry and have amazing pitch and timing. I mean, if you're part of a religious order called the Chantry, chances are they're going to teach you how to sing, and you might even remember some lyrics. Even if you didn't like this scene very much aesthetically, and I personally didn't, it feels a bit too Disney for my taste, this scene is part of what Dragon Age is kind of about. Deeper meaning, even if they're not that deep or clear. They're at attempts at being aesthetic. Struggles without clear answers, a little bit of political intrigue that hints at the importance of the characters.
It's all one world, Harold. All that changes is our place in it.
And just like that, the magic is gone.
The scene was fine. We first had a talk about perception and what others think of us, and then a song about hoping for a better tomorrow. But we certainly didn't need a third message of being united in how our place in it changes as we go. Then Solus comes by and wants to talk to us. Oh look, conveniently placed makeshift torch that is unlit in the middle of nowhere. And what the hell is up with this torch? Did someone break it? Intentionally? Was it already broken while they were rushing to escape and then just slapped, two metal belts on it? And, oh yeah, it's still a torch, totally usable. Why would they even do that? Was being higher than eye level not good for this scene? Did the modeler get pissed off when he was asked to make yet another smaller torch and decide to chop it in two and tape it together in spite? Is the base of a torch a spear tip or rubber plotted plant container? What is up with this torch? Could it just be a normal torch that sticks out of the snow and Solus walks by and lights it up? This goddamn torch!